Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Mega Man 2 Part 1. In the year of 2000X, a super robot named Mega Man was created. Dr. Light created Mega Man. Yeah, I think we already knew that from the first game, but it's good nice it reminds us to stop the evil desires of Dr. Wily. However, after his defeat, Dr. Wily created 8 of his own robots to counter Mega Man. And so it's going to show us it's on top of this building. What could it possibly be? Oh look, it's Mega Man without his helmet. He looks less like Astro Boy this time around. So now we got 8 Robot Masters in this game, not 6 like there were in the first one. These ones are a lot more challenging than the ones in the first one. These levels in general, this whole game is in general far more challenging than the original. Yet people seem to love this one way more than the original. It has an epic music soundtrack. It has a really good selection of bosses. The level design is pretty good. The graphics are way better for a lot of things. Mega Man's sprite is the same as it was in the first one, which he uses that same sprite for all of the Mega Man games on the NES. There's no score in this, as you could probably notice. There's no score, because they probably figured, score, what's the point of us having a score? No one needs a score. Who gives a crap about score in a game like this? And so, beginning off with this is a level a lot of people seem to choose first, is Airman stage. It's actually one of the more challenging levels in the game level-wise, but in terms of the boss, and well, even the boss is kind of a bit of a challenge too, but yeah, for some reason, everyone seems to like to play a stage first. But then again, what is the first stage of the game? It's non-linear gameplay. You can play the stages in any order you want. So this game is pretty much the precursor to, or the precursor, but it's like the game that kind of set the standards for what Mega Man would be for pretty much every single Mega Man game made after this one always goes with the same standards set up by this game, and not so much a standard set up by the original Mega Man. This game, well, that's why a lot of people credit this game as being the game that truly made Mega Man what Mega Man is. There's 8 Robot Masters. There still has that same thing where you can pick up their weapon, it serves as their weakness, and can use it on them, but a lot of the Robot Masters in this game share the same weakness, and a lot of them can easily be killed with just Mega Man's standard weapon, which is still called a plasma shooter, just a P for short. This game adds some other interesting stuff too, like E-tanks that you use to fill up your health if you run low on health. There's also these new other machines that you get too that can help you get to certain parts of the levels. There's no magnet beam in this game, but these other machines that you have, they're probably just as, I don't know, I think the magnet beam may have still been a better thing. I can see why some people might like the first one more than this one, because the first one didn't have as many BS moments as this game does. Yeah, this game's filled with BS moments, but we'll see that later. I mean, this level has a lot of BS moments. It's a level in the sky. It's like in Super Mario Bros. 3, where's that level where you have to like jump on platforms, things like that in the sky, and there's never a ground. The whole level's just you jumping or stuff. So this level's like, well, it's Airman stage, so he obviously lives in the sky, right? They could have just called him Sky Man, and that would have been a better name for him, but no. They went with the name Airman. Those bird things, they drop those eggs, and they can launch a lot of little birds after you. But if you're lucky, you can kill all the little birds, and you can earn a lot of, like, weapon energy and health. We don't really need much of those right now, because we don't have any special weapons yet. Or any weapons in general, or special items or anything like that. Her health is still pretty good. Here's the first Robot Master going after Airman. I hear he has what's called fan talk, where he talks like as if you're talking into a fan. That's because his mouth is a fan. Yeah, I wonder how he got so far in life having a fan for a mouth. All these robots were supposedly built by Dr. Wily. It's unknown how true that claim is. You're not seeing Dr. Wily. He probably just took robots he found at a garbage dumpster somewhere and fixed them up and rebuilt them so they could be his own personal fighting robots that he could use to take over the world with. So every time we defeat a Robot Master, this time around it actually tells us that we're getting a new weapon, unlike what it did in the first game, which confused a lot of people. Actually says, oh, you're getting the air shooter, a new weapon. It also tells you when you get new, like items or things like that you could use throughout the game. Message from Santa Claus, Dr. Light. It's going to tell us that, oh, you've got a completed item too. It plays this very lengthy. This isn't really a cutscene, but it's a still image where it shows text. It's really slow and lengthy. You're going to have to sit back and have a lot of patience if you want to. It's just telling us that we have now of item 2 now and stuff. It always shows this very lengthy bit between the levels. And there is a save feature in this game, technically speaking. It's a password system. This is the first Mega Man game that has a password system. So you don't have to, so unlike the first game, you don't have to play this entire game in one session. You can play the game, get the password, and leave the game, come back later. But then again, why would you do that when you could use save states, which is what I could save the game with. Or if you're playing something in the Mega Man Anniversary Collection, you can just use, the save feature in that Anniversary Collection. So I collected an E-Tank there. You may have noticed that's something that's new in this game. I look to refill my health if I run low. You can only hold it to 4 of them in the game, so make good use of them. If you collect any more, if you have maxed them, they just get wasted then. So right now, this game is flickering so badly to a point where most of the sprites don't even work properly anymore. I can barely see myself because of how bad the sprites are flickering. They don't really fix the flicker problem from the first game. This game still flickers pretty badly, where this still rapidly flickers lots, so you can't even see stuff a lot of the time. And so these drills are also a really good way to, these little drillings are a really good way to grind. You just go and destroy a bunch, you get a bunch of health and energy, and sometimes if you're lucky, they could give you 1-ups, but these things pretty much never spawn E-Tanks. E-Tanks are never spawned from enemies getting destroyed. The only things that can really spawn are health pickups, energy pickups, and if you're lucky, 1-ups, lives, but that's about it. So now we're taking on Metal Man. He's one of the best robot masters in this game. He has the best weapon in the entire game, so you have to jump on these conveyor belts. I imagine it's supposed to be some sort of like metal factory or some sort of like factory building. I don't know, maybe this is where Dr. Wily is building his robots right now or something like that. I don't know what he could be doing here. And then there's all kinds of hazards. These are those things that fall from the ceiling, those chains, spike things fall from the ceiling. They take away like a quarter of your health if you get hit by one of them. There's that thing that looks like an elf. Looks like some sort of elf thing is riding that metal, wheelie Metal Gear. You see a lot of Metal Gears in the background too, so I guess these are like, I guess he's some kind of factory worker. Maybe Dr. Wily maybe that's what elves do when it's the off season, when they can't work for Santa Claus, because Santa Claus is too busy being Dr. Light in this game. Maybe they work for Dr. Wily instead, or Dr. Wily pays them more than what Santa Claus pays them, which is why they're able to work for him instead of Santa Claus at this time of the year. And so there's another E-Tank. I got 2 tanks. Let's demonstrate the item we got in the last level. So when we completed Airman stage, we got what's called item 2. So this little board we could ride on. It's like a red little board. We could sit on it, we stand on it, we could ride on it, and it flies us and it flies. It only goes in a perfectly straight line. You can't move straight or change its direction while it's going, and you can't like make it move up or down or anything like that. It just simply goes one direction. So now here we are, we're at Metal Man now, finally. We're going to take on Metal Man. Yeah, his name almost sounds like a pun of Mega Man. Almost Mega Man, Metal Man, Mega Man, Metal Man. Metal Man's a bit of a pushover. A lot of the bosses in this game are pushovers. Even if you don't have their weaknesses, a lot of them could still be pushovers. Look at that, I just shot him with my regular plasma shot, Mega Buster, whatever it's called. I only shot him a few times and he's almost dead. I didn't even have a full health tank when I went into this, and he almost killed me, but look at that, I destroyed him easy. And now we're gonna get what is quite possibly the best weapon in the game. Heck, it's probably the best weapon in the entire Mega Man franchise. It's the Metal Blade, I think is what it's called. It's even better. Yeah, it's even better than Cutman's weapon from the first game. It's actually like a saw blade. It can pretty much slash for just about most enemies in this game could get slashed for easy, and most Robot Masters in this game have that weapon as their weakness. Mega Man 2 may very well be the only game in the Mega Man series where more than one Robot Master has the same weakness, and some of those Robot Masters and weapons are not weaknesses to other Robot Masters, which kind of defeats the whole the whole rock, paper, scissors structure the first game had, but they brought that back in the later games. The later games go back to using the whole rock, paper, scissors structure, which works best. It allows you to make perfectly fair use of each and every weapon. And the weapons in this game are overly energy efficient. You can spam them millions of times over and over again. You can still have a lot of energy left over. It's really hard to run out of weapon energy in this game. It depends on what weapon it is. Like, some of them are a little less energy efficient than others. And so now we're going to Bubble Man stage. Bubble Man's of course weak against the Metal Blade, because metal against a bubble, come on, it's obvious who's gonna win that battle. So we're going for there's a lot of water in this. This is the first time we're actually introduced to water in a Mega Man game. We're actually demonstrating how the physics will be for most of the remaining Mega Man games. There's very little buoyancy underwater, so Mega Man's a lot lighter underwater. You can jump a lot high, which is something we didn't really get at all in the first Mega Man, if you remember, in the first Mega Man. Mega Man gravity physics work the same underwater as they do on land in the first Mega Man, but not in this game, and pretty much all the other Mega Man games change that. See, there's those Metroid things that are those things look like Metroids. They're coming after us right now, and the whole ceiling is topped with spikes. This is actually one of the more challenging levels in the game, and that's another problem at this game too. All of the levels of this game are unevenly balanced. Challenge factor is unevenly balanced. You get really easy levels and really hard bosses, or you can get the other way around a lot of the time. Really hard bosses for really easy levels. It's not really well balanced, I think. And here's a frog thing again. Those frogs are kind of like those bird things that can drop like offspring of itself and destroy them and maybe get some power-ups, or not really powers, but you know what I mean. Look at that, that one just gave me a 1-up. Yeah, it's like, oh, 1-up. Sometimes this game can be kind of generous, sometimes with 1-ups. It's always throwing 1-ups in your face. So this is Mega Man 2 for you all. This is the highest rated game in the Mega Man franchise. A lot of people say this is like one of the greatest games ever. It's still on the NES. It's like 1988 or 1989. Now, some sources say this game came out in 1988. Other sources say this game came out in 1989. Some people say, like I said, a lot of people say it's like one of the greatest games ever, one of the greatest Mega Man games ever. I think this is the most overrated game in the Mega Man series. Sure, it's fun and entertaining, it has some epic moments, it has really good music, but I think a lot of sequels to this game actually are superior in that sense. They also had a lot of the sequels had good level design too, and they had good and they had imaginative robot masters. And they lacked the kinds of BS moments that this game has. Sure, Mega Man 5 and Mega Man 4 and 5 had a lot of BS moments in them, and even Mega Man 6 had some BS moments, but none of them were as BS as some of the stuff in this game. We'll see later when we go for the Wily stages. So now it's going to show us this lengthy clip again, this lengthy amount of text again, telling us that, oh, we got the bubble lead, or bubble lead, however you say that, which is Bubble Man's weapon. Yes, it's a bubble we can use. We can shoot at the robot masters, and it's actually more powerful than you realize. It'll be needed to beat the game too. But again, it's impossible to get to the Wily stages in this game without defeating all the robot masters. So we're going to demonstrate one of the best weapons in the game now. See, Metal Blade. This is why the Metal Blade's the best weapon in the game. We can just throw it for all those batteries. I think those things are called batteries or something like that. Or no, not batteries. They're called tellies, I think. Or I don't remember what any of the enemies in this game are called. But you see, they come at us from all 8 directions, and we can throw our Metal Blade in all 8 directions. It's very energy efficient, just cuts through them easy. Mega Man's pretty much like an unstoppable force to be reckoned with if he has this Metal Blade weapon. And no Mega Man game after this has a weapon as high-powered as that. That's probably what they figured. This game, almost all the weapons in this game are overpowered, which does make the game a lot easy a lot of the time. Well, not really full easy, but you know, like the robot. I mean, a lot of the game is easy because of the high-powered weapons, but they fixed that in the sequels. The sequels don't really have any high-powered weapons, like overkill weapons kind of thing, which actually could be for the better a lot of the time. Because in the later games, we're going to be using the Mega Buster, just as Mega Man's standard weapon for most levels in the game. So we only use the special weapons for bosses all the time. But in this game, we're going to be using a lot of the weapons. We're going to be using the Metal Blade. Not a lot of the weapons in this game, just the Metal Blade. We're going to be using that a lot to destroy most of the levels. We can destroy a lot of the levels easy with our handy Metal Blade. And look at that. I've thrown tons of Metal Blades already. And we only used up like a little more than a tenth of what it can hold. This is really energy efficient. They had really awesome energy efficiency. I think Dr. Light was really good at building Mega Man to be an energy efficient robot. But clearly, somehow Mega Man lost that ability in the later games. Or sometimes it might become like something you have to buy in a later game, like in Mega Man 8 or something like that, where you can actually buy stuff at the store. And so this level probably has my favorite music in the game. This level is very similar to a Lec-Man stage from Mega Man 1, in which it involves like traveling to some sort of electricity tower, some sort of electrical industrial tower, or something like that in the future. You can climb up the walls, not climb up the walls, but you climb really, there's a lot of walls, you can climb up really far, and there's like different corridors and things that you could accidentally end up to. There's more than one ladder to climb to, and each one leads to something different. This level, come to think of it, this level is all pretty much the same, or all mostly the same as a Lec-Man stage from Mega Man 1. Look at that, those bird things are coming around. Look at that, they just threw me a lot of free energy. It's already enough that our weapons are so energy efficient, but being this, but it's already enough that they're that efficient, but the fact that it keeps giving us more and more energy is just, you know, it's like this is why we almost never run out of Metal Blades in this game if we keep using them. It's like they knew it was the best weapon in the entire franchise. They want us to use it as much as possible. Like the game wants us to use a Metal Blade, wants us to go for this game and rip every single enemy possible to shreds or something. And it's like the game wanted us to do all that. So you see now we climb so high that we're high into the upper atmosphere now, where it looks like we're in outer space, really that high in the atmosphere. I imagine we could see our breath right now because of how icy it would be. That's nothing to Mega Man. Mega Man can withstand most kinds of temperatures, I'm pretty sure, atmospheric conditions and stuff like that. There's these enemies. These things are kind of like, those things are a little bit like the Mega Eyes, I think, from the original Mega Man, but only they're not as large and they don't take as many hits to kill. Imagine if Mega Man had the Metal Blade in Mega Man 1. Those Mega Eyes would be, you know, they'd be destroyed. They wouldn't stand a chance against Mega Man. I don't think the Metal Blade even works against them. So now it's time to take on Crash Man. What kind of name is Crash Man anyways? It sounds like the name of someone that would crash or something like that, crash and burn kind of thing. Or the name of a car-related robot master, but no. His name should have been Drill Man or Bomb Drill Man or Drill Bomb Man, because that's what he seems to throw at us. You see he has 2 hands for drills and he throws those bombs at us that could explode. Well, they're bombs, of course they're gonna explode, but he froze them at us. It's probably the worst weapon in the game, and yet we needed to get through one of the bosses. Let's use one of the energy tanks because, because we can only hold it to 4 of them. We're gonna be getting a lot more in this game, so might as well make use of them. And there, see, we destroyed him with our regular Mega Buster, Plasma Shot, or whatever it's called, because Crash Man is just that much of a wuss. And so now we capture him. It's going to show the same old lengthy cutscene telling us that we got the Crash Bomb. There actually are some doors in this game that can only be destroyed, or walls in this game can only be destroyed with Crash Man's weapon. So it's actually good that we get it when we do now, so we'll be needing it for some parts later in this game. This is Ray Phoenix signing out.